Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways, ladies and gentlemen, from a wet and cold Cape Town. We're in something rather tasty today. The new VW Caravelle. This is the top of the range model, 1.1 million rand. All of the bells and whistles. Well, most of the bells and whistles. I'll get into some of them, but I'm surprised that are not on here. But very, very comfortable on the tar. Economical with a 2.2 litre turbo diesel engine. I mean a 2 litre turbo diesel engine that puts out about 150 kilowatts. So you're adequately powered. Fuel economy is good at around 9 litres per 100 k's. What I'm a little bit surprised about is the fact it doesn't have active cruise control. I drove a Tiguan a year or two ago that had active cruise control, and this is the flagship Caravelle and no active cruise control. And I'm still trying to work out if it's got the automatic headlights that go bump in the night. This car's got a lot of competition in the luxury minibus market, which used to be dominated by Mercedes-Benz and the V-Class and the Vito. But in more recent times, the Caravelle's making noises, and with this very luxury offering, 7 seats, extremely comfortable seats, loads of drink holders. One thing I don't like is it doesn't have USB ports anymore. It's only got that new high-powered micro USB charging thing for your phone. So it's really set up for somebody running the car off their phone. But somebody like me, I prefer to run the car off, just to put the music on a USB. So from that perspective, for this kind of money, I'd expect at least one USB port up front. There's two here and 2 in the back, so they've got enough ports for charging. They just don't have the right variety of ports, in my opinion. So really, in terms of luxury people carriers, it's this VW Caravelle and your Sprinter, if you look at what's popular in South Africa. And having driven both, there's not too much to choose between them. I'd say the Sprinter probably feels a bit bigger inside, but in terms of power, the Sprinter's got the 2.2 litre turbo diesel single turbo. This has got the double turbo. Let's see what it's like off the line, ladies and gentlemen. You've got different modes. You've got eco, comfort, normal, sport. One thing I must confess is I lost my main camera yesterday. It fell off the car, and by the time I retraced my steps, it was no longer there. So if you see Sony camera in Constantia, it's big 6s, and I'd appreciate it if you could leave a comment below if you got it. Okay, let's see what it's like off the line. 150 kilowatts. There we go. So it's by no means sluggish. I was in the single turbo Everest last week, and it was definitely a little sluggish off the line, but that extra turbo definitely helps you get off the line, and overtaking on the highway is just sublime on this vehicle. V6 version with all-terrain tires and a 2-inch lift. I think this could be the next Synchro, because this particular vehicle does have a rear diff lock, which is always good to see. I did a bit of off-roading in it, gentle off-roading. It was more than adequate, so it's going to be perfect for sort of Cedarburg gravel roads and whatnot. And if you do give it a lift and a better set of tires, you can probably get away with grade 2 off-road. So that's for sports mode, individual. Then you got eco, and you got comfort. That makes it into a nice lazy boy, ladies and gentlemen. So in terms of the things I don't like, the USB ports are the wrong things. The lights also, as soon as you open the door at light, you get blinded by the lights. It also beeps a hell of a lot, this car. It's got side sensors, front sensors, so excellent reverse camera, class leading reverse camera, but I just find that the sensors are a little bit overbearing. Great turning circle on this vehicle. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Turn all day long, and it would really be at home in this plush suburb of Constantia, this vehicle, that's for sure. housewives will be lining up for this. So as I said, over 1.1 million rand. So this is a lot of money, but I'm getting the feeling that these minibuses with a bit of off-road ability are going to really start cutting into your 7-seater market, because there's so much space in this particular vehicle, and in the boot as well. With all 7 seats up, there's still enough space to put a good bit of luggage in there. You could fit 2-3 golf clubs. So you're not getting sacrificed for having your full seating capacity. And this is only 7 seats, so you're going to pay less on tax. So there are definitely a lot of good reasons to be in the Caravelle. Reliability of VW over the last few years has been up and down on the JD Powers rating. Some of their cars do alright, some of them are towards the bottom of the list. So this is the sort of car you definitely want to be buying new and hanging on to. Let's put the boot in here. Let's see what the handling's like, ladies and gentlemen. In this wet weather, this whole motion works very, very well, very planted, and with a rear diff, very good for towing, getting a boat in and out of the water, and 202 mil of ground clearance. Can you believe it? Brakes are top class on this. Right on the line. 17-inch rims here. I think it's a 235 by 55 and a 17. So I would personally, if I had this car, I would put a 245 by 60 on a 17. Put a bigger tacky on the end, perhaps a bit of a lift. But I like gravel roading. But just for getting to the shops and back, more than adequate ground clearance. So all in all, one hell of a vehicle. Highly impressed with the new Caravelle. It's definitely going to make inroads into the 7-seater market, that's for sure. It's really a pleasure to drive. I just wish that they're going to bring in the active cruise control on this vehicle, because it is very, very useful, especially on long distance trips. You arrive at your destination a lot more refreshed. And I'd like to see more control of the lighting. I find the car does too much of the control of the lighting. Sometimes at night, if your passenger gets out of the car, you don't necessarily need everything illuminated. And also it's got another irritating thing, that when you leave the car, it says this little message, "Goodbye, have you remembered your keys?" and everybody out of the car, which is like, it's cute the first time, but you know, it's people's responsibility to get their own stuff out of the car, not the vehicle's responsibility. But that's the only nitpick gonna have. Great family vehicle. Great family vehicle. Good off-road ability. You've got the VW parts and spares in abundance. And get yourself the 5-year motoring plan and get out there and enjoy the roads of South Africa. And we'll catch you next time on Africa Sideways.